Well, here we are out at Bandon Dunes. This is the actual Bandon Dunes course where we played yesterday. The great news is it has stopped raining. The sun's kind of out. The bad news, the course is covered in snow. They've actually apparently backed all tee times up 2 hours, which is a really bad thing because our tee time was barely going to give us enough time to get the round in before it got dark. So we're trying to figure out what to do. But by the way, it never, ever snows here. Except the one time in our lives when we happen to be here. So you can see there's actually people. Here's a guy over here taking pictures. There's people all over looking at this and taking pictures because there's nobody playing right now. But incredible stuff here at Bandon Dunes that we've had this week. Every time you can't look at. I don't know if you can see the streaks in the sky over there, but that's snow showers. It's still coming down a little. You might see a little flake here every once in a while, but really pretty. Brisk. If it stays like this is probably, believe it or not, the best golfing conditions we've had all week. Which you start to set the bar really low after a week like this on what you consider to be ideal golf conditions. But at a minimum, we've got to wait for the snow to clear off before we can play. But pretty day, another interesting story. Well, here we are. We're actually at Pacific Dunes. Came over here to see if we could pick up Charlie's umbrella. You can see this 18th in the background, Pacific Dunes. Snow is melting, but as you can probably see in the background, playing conditions aren't real favorable for golf. Actually, probably the best conditions we've had, but it's still snowing. Moderately hard, actually. So it's not helping our cause. What is going to happen if this works out well, we've got an 11:50 tee time at Old Mac, and they aren't. They're basically just hosing all the people with early tee times. They're sticking to their original tee time. So if the course becomes playable before 11:50, we will actually get to play. So we'll see. But the sun is supposed to actually be out right now, according to the weather forecast. They said at 10 o'clock it would become mostly sunny. But here, you take a look. It ain't mostly sunny. If the sun was out, the snow would have melted in a hurry. But it's not helping our cause right now. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Nothing you can do about it. But certainly, by the way, the person at breakfast, we asked her if it snowed off, and she said, well, I think it snowed about 3 or 4 years ago, but nothing like this. So we feel very special and honored that we were able to be here in these kind of unbelievably crappy conditions. Crazy stuff in Oregon. Well, Mal, actually out here, this is the first tee at Old McDonald, and you can see, well, maybe you can't, but it's still snowing, but it's really breaking up, and that's the sun, and it's probably hard to see, but this is actually blue sky through a little bit of the snow and the haze. So if the sun comes out with how high it is, this stuff will melt off in a heartbeat. But this is Old McDonald. It's advertised as the really fun course to play because it's pretty wide open, pretty flat out here. It goes back, you may not be able to see, but it goes back out on the coast. But it's a pretty open, flat area along the coast, but with lots of dunes, you know, real Scottish style. So this should be really cool, really pretty if we're able to play it and if we're able to see and it's not snowing. But it's still really cold. It's 33 degrees, but if the sun comes out, it'll warm up. It's supposed to warm up to about 40, maybe. So we'll see. This will be our last day. Hopefully we'll be able to play today. There's that's the 16th at Bandon Dunes on top of that hill up there. That's the religious experience hole. Down here on the ocean, took a little hike, but up on top of that hill up there, you can see that's a little indentation there that we had to tee off over. Can't quite see it, but that flag is right on top of that hole by that little white thing on top of the hill, but that's the 16th at Bandon Dunes that we had so much fun at yesterday. You can see conditions have improved immensely. Absolutely perfect conditions. The only day we couldn't play because of the conditions. Strange place, Bandon Dunes, but you can see down the rain down on the shoreline or snow. It's really cold. I'm sweating like crazy. That's why I've got my jacket off, because I've been hiking for a while. But nutty place. Perfect day, and we couldn't play. And all those other days that weren't so perfect, they had no trouble letting us play. So anyways, it's a great trip.